Hi my friends, my name is Daniel Villarino. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope everybody is fine. If you recall from the previous video, I had received this ball gouge from the factory with an angle of 43 degrees and a profile that was a conventional grind. And during the previous video what I wanted was to replicate the profile and the edge with the same angle exactly as it was in the factory, and that is what we did in that video. Today what I want to show is how to modify the angle and modify it from 43 degrees, which is what it has right now, to 60 degrees, which is the measure I want for this particular gouge. Let's say that this is the stone or the wheel, the CBM wheel, and we have the profile against the wheel like that for the 43 degree angle. What we want to do is to remove a little bit the arm and distance the pivot point from the wheel a little bit, so that the tip is going to go lower on the stone, enough to make this angle a bigger angle. And it's going to be a sort of a trial and error process. I'm going to move it away a little bit, make the grinding, check the angle, see if we are okay, or if it is still too closed, or if it is too open, and modify the distance accordingly until we get the right angle. Now, if you recall, I used this accessory, this jig, for the grinding, and I'm going to use the same one. Again, the distance from the place where the tool is protruding from the jig is going to be 2 inches, and let me show you here, this is going to be still in the first mark which determines this angle, and I want a sort of close angle there to get the conventional grinding. I'm going to try it that way. Let's see if that works. If it doesn't, I will make modifications accordingly. Now, one important thing is that because we are going to be grinding mostly from the tip, this distance is going to get reduced. So I will be readjusting this often to get it to the 2 inches every time. The other thing is that because we have to remove a substantial amount of material, I'm going to begin the grinding process with the 80 grit CBM wheel, and once I have everything ready, I'm going to move it to the 220 grit just to give the final pass and the final edge. Okay, so that's today's project. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get to work. Okay, the first step is to ensure that the distance from the tip of the gouge to the place where the tool protrudes from the jig is exactly 2 inches. Now, in my case, from this support here to the border of the table, I have exactly 2 inches. I put it that way so that I could make that measure easily. So I will gently put the tip against the support there, and then move the jig until it touches the border of the table. I can tighten the knob there, and now I know that this distance is exactly 2 inches, and I can replicate that very easily. Right now, all the profile of the gouge is touching the surface of the grinder, but I want to increase the angle, so I'm going to move this away from the grinder like this, and that way only the tip of the gouge is going to touch the grinder, and that is going to make that I will remove more material from the tip than from the heel. That way I will increase the angle. So I'm going to do that now, and I'm going to check after I finish to see if the angle I got is the one that I require. Before beginning, please remember always to protect your face with a full mask, and also it's convenient to have something with water so that you can cool down the tool while you are working. As you can see, every so often I readjust the measure of the 2 inches. I believe we are pretty close to have all the surface ground, and what I did is I painted black. So now I am going to make a light pass all around the profile and see if there are any black parts remaining, which means that I have to keep grinding. But if everything is okay, then I'm going to measure the angle and see how close we are to the 60 degrees. If we are not still in the 60 degrees, then I have to modify this distance from here to the wheel to regulate that. Okay, as you can see, after a light pass in the whole profile, there is no black remaining, everything is shiny, which means that we have ground everything perfectly well. Let me try the angle. Let's slide this right there, and you can see that the angle is exactly 60 degrees. That was really lucky. It was not my intention, really. Well, so this is ready. Let's say that the angle wasn't 60 degrees. Let's say that the angle was 55. If that would have been the case, then that means that this was still too close to the grinder and we had to remove it a little more. Let's say that the angle was 65, so a little bigger. In that case, we were too far away and we had to move it back. But we are right spot on the money there. So what I'm going to do now is make a mark, a black mark here on this piece, on the support, so that when I transfer this from the 80 grit to the 220 grit wheel, I can have it approximately in the place that it has to be. Then, of course, we are going to do the typical test of painting black everything and making marks, moving the wheel by hand, so that way we can ensure that we are keeping the same angle. I changed the position of the camera to the other side of the grinder because I am going to be working with the 220 wheel right now. What I did is I moved the arm from the 80 grit to the 220 and I put it right there at the mark that I made on the other side. And right now it should be pretty close to the profile that we need. But I am going to rotate the CBN wheel by hand so that it will make a mark on the black surface over there. If it covers the whole profile, we are exactly in the angle. If it covers just the heel or the tip, it means that we have to modify the distance, and we will do that accordingly. Okay, as you can see, it has marked towards the nose of the profile, towards the cutting edge. That means that this pivot point is too far away. I have to get it a little bit closer to the grinder, just a little bit, and see if that solves the issue. And what I'm going to do before making the next try is to repaint this bright mark there so that it won't give me a false indication. Okay, you can see that the bright bar in the middle is all the way from the heel to the nose, and I made a couple of other ones on both sides. They are a little more towards the heel than towards the cutting edge, but still they cross the whole profile. So what I'm going to do now is give it a try with a light pass to see with that we remove all the black, and if we do, that means that we are in the right edge. Okay, my friends, I just finished doing the sharpening of the gouge, and you can see there it has the traditional grinding with an angle of 60 degrees instead of 43, which was the original angle. As you could see in the previous part, it has a very sharp edge, and it can cut considerably well. One important thing is that this same gouge, if we make a relief cut on the heel, we can make it a bottom feeder to work on the bottom of the balls. And the next step is going to be to transform this into an Irish grind gouge, but that will be in the next video. One important thing is that once you have all the data, the distance that the gouge protrudes from the jig, the angle between the body of the gouge and the leg of the jig, and also the distance between the pivot point and the grinder, is important to make a record of all that. And if possible, you can make a label and put it in the handle of the tool, so that when you have to do the setup the next time, it's going to be easier. I hope you enjoyed this video. If that's the case, please mark the like button down below, make comments, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. That way, every time I upload a new video, you are going to receive a notification. And it will be until the next one. Cheers!